Okay, first there is clearly a lot of buzz around the SIFs and the investment landscape. So how would you portray this in your, in your view, like how it's changing the investment landscape?
No, so Sandeep, when we spoke last time, I told you that SIF is a bit of a miracle asset class, right? For the regulator to do this, extremely forward-looking,
Right.
and more importantly, the speed at which they've done it with is super fast. I don't think this kind of speed even happens in developed markets.
Dyna SIF Ex Top 100 Fund. Why do you feel like this is the right time to launch this NFO?
But we are clearly of the view that something in the X top 100 is where the next set of wealth creators hopefully will come. So what AI essentially does for you is it improves your decision making. It doesn't substitute it.
Raghav, we have seen कि investors ना बहुत प्यार करते हैं small and mid cap को, but जब market fall करती है तो बहुत जल्दी panic करते हैं.
Correct.
So ये SIF structure is going to solve that problem too.
How much to completely solve it? We attempt to mitigate.
Coming to the end of this podcast, Raghav, what message would you like to give to our audience about Dyna SIF Ex Top 100?
So one is it's very clearly a fund for sophisticated investors.
Okay.
So let me start by saying who should not invest.
Okay.
So clearly people who have not invested in capital markets at all, be it equity, mutual funds, index funds, please don't start with this.
Okay.
Number two, people who have short-term investment horizon, please don't come here.
We will be discussing the investment landscape beyond the top 100. So we have Mr. Raghav Iyengar with us. Raghav, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sandeep.
SIF के Masterminds.
Thank you.
Okay.
मैं master थोड़ी हूँ सर, मैं तो राघव हूँ बस.
No, so you are one of the greatest minds in the industry. I keep telling you this, and I really mean this, Raghav.
Kind of you to say so. I don't agree with you, but yeah.
Okay, first there is clearly a lot of buzz around the SIFs and the investment landscape. So how would you portray this in your, in your view, like how it's changing the investment landscape?
No, so Sandeep, when we spoke last time, I told you that SIF is a bit of a miracle asset class, right? For the regulator to do this, it's extremely forward-looking.
Right.
And more importantly, the speed at which they've done it with is super fast. I don't think this kind of speed even happens in developed markets. And the first SIFs were launched barely 9-10 months back, and today you're already seeing more than $1 billion of AUM coming into this fund, right? And we are just at the start of that journey. Buzz is there. I mean, there's a lot of buzz. I think there are two sets of investors here, sir. There are one set of investors who are really looking at this product as to how it can complement their investment journey.
Right.
These are the knowledgeable investors. These are people who've been putting money for a very long time. The second set of investors are really looking at this as a novelty.
Right.
तो वो long short word देख के, futures and options word देख के, arbitrage word देख के उनको बहुत खुशी आ रहा है.
Right.
क्या ये कौन सा product है? Now our job, as you know, Sandeep, is to create a set of educated investors and try to improve the knowledge levels of our investors before they start investing.
Right.
So I think that there are these two. So the guys who understand the product are extremely appreciative. The people who are thinking of this as a novelty, I think our job, and especially this show's job, is to try and get them to really understand what they're really putting money into.
Right. And Raghav, we have seen in the past, जो investors के question होते थे, it was around, buy a good stock and then hold it for the long term. But now the discussions are changing. People are looking for alpha, they are looking for risk-adjusted returns, then long shorts. So in your perspective, how would you portray this?
I think it's a natural progression in any journey, Sandeep. It's nothing to be, surprised about.
Right.
And broadly, that definition of what you said, that आप एक अच्छे fund पकड़ो या एक अच्छे pool of stocks पकड़ो, and then you hold it for a long period of time, you capture the return.
Right.
And broadly, that has worked very well. And but I think now with markets getting more mature, with new asset classes coming out, I think investors are now keen to understand these things also. That what's my risk return? How does my downside get protected?
Right.
What are the adjacent things that this product can do for me, which will give me a better return experience? So I think it's part of the journey. So I think there's nothing to. In fact, it's absolutely in line with what we've seen in some other developed markets. But the thing in India is, thanks to people like you, adoption is very quick. Knowledge levels go up very fast, and I'm reasonably sure within a year from now, I can confidently predict the number and the type of questions that you will get will be pretty much around this stuff. The other thing, of course, is that a lot of investors are now realizing that bottom-up investments are difficult to do.
Right.
So it's good to go to a place which has a process which tries and does that for you. And wealth is slowly getting created, obviously, outside the top 100 companies. So it's not only that you sort of just buy something and hold on to it forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important that you hold the right thing at the right time and behave very differently.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Raghav, coming on to the specific, the reason of meeting us, we are meeting today, Dyna SIF Ex Top 100 Funds. Why do you feel like this is the right time to launch this NFO?
No. So I'm very clear, Sandeep. This is not a timing issue,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm of the fact that I believe very strongly. Our fund management team believes that a lot of tomorrow's multi-baggers will come out of the X Top 100.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and if there is enough documentary evidence to show also that today's large caps were yesterday or maybe day before yesterday's mid and small caps. So number one.
Absolutely.
Number two, we've seen a correction in the market. So in that sense, it's a nice, it's a, I won't say safer point to invest, but it's a more appropriate time to sort of look at a product like this. But we are clearly of the view that something in the X Top 100 is where the next set of wealth creators hopefully will come from. And this product tries to address that demand.
Right.
And today, I think very importantly, what this product allows you to do is have more flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
You can also manage downside much easier with this product.
Right.
So it's not only about timing. Timing is of course one part of it. I think the second thing which is more important is the whole opportunity set which is available today in this category.
Thank you, Raghav. And Raghav, like we already have that mid and small cap in the mutual fund category.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like this X Top 100 is going to be different from the traditional options that are there?
No, I think one very clearly it comes wrapped in the SIF package, right? What does the SIF package do? It basically gives you some set of discretionary investment, like say what PMS, alternate investments used to give you, but in a mutual fund regulated entity.
Right.
So the simplicity, the transparency, the regulatory part of the MF combined with some part of innovation that you can do in say PMS and AI. Now, just to give you a sense, Sandeep, in your typical mid and small cap funds, what will happen is that you're basically taking a very directional bet.
Right.
Here you have the opportunity and the ability to actually take a large directional view on mid and small cap companies. At the same time, also benefit from the ability of going short on a few overvalued, say bad governance, bad ECSG type of companies. So this is a unique product in that sense. Number two, it also gives you the ability of adding some amount of large cap. Because up to roughly 1/3, that is 35% of the portfolio can be put into the top 100. So it gives you some level of cushion. Lastly, of course, you have large cap, you have a little bit of debt, you have a little bit of InvITs and REITs which you can use. All these are strategies which can help you get to a more, it sort of makes a return little more less volatile. This category, as you know, has the highest amount of volatility.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I think compared to a normal mid cap and small cap fund, the ability to do more investment options are much higher in this product.
Right.
Like in the traditional mid cap fund, you have to put 65% of the scheme assets into companies number 101 to 250.
Absolutely.
So it's basically a much narrower investment universe. And you know the size of the mid cap industry, it's doing very well because clearly I think investors are also seeing an opportunity over there.
Right.
But this one allows you to go 65% from company number 101 all the way up. So if let's say hypothetically, if you want to make this a small cap focused portfolio, we can do that.
Right.
You want to make it a mid cap focused portfolio, you can do that. You can do a mix. So as you can make out, it's a flexi cap way of investing into mid and small cap and even micro cap companies.
Right.
Then of course you have the defensive ability in the form of taking index hedges, buying some large cap if required if the markets are very overheated,
Okay.
and also benefiting from maybe some very structurally overvalued companies which maybe are a candidate for possibly corrections. Which is not, all this is not available, especially the short part of it is not available in the traditional mutual fund space.
Yeah. So you mean to say, Raghav, like 65% of the total portfolio is going to be from mid and small cap?
Has to be.
A minimum 65.
Can be 65 to 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about large cap? Like, are you mandatorily going to introduce
No,
large
no,
cap
it's,
into this?
that's basically.
Is there any cap to large cap?
No, you can't invest more than 35%.
Okay.
So roughly just take it as 1/3. It's easy for people to understand, right?
Right.
So typically 1/3 of the portfolio you can put in the top 100 companies if you
But
want.
that's optional.
It's 0 to 35. So
Got it.
technically I can be 0 if I want to. So large caps are more, as you know, more defensive. They don't have the level of volatility that a mid and small cap has.
Right.
So where we think that risk levels are going up, one way to manage volatility is to introduce some large cap into the portfolio. One way to think about it. You can put large cap, you can put debt,
Right.
you can put InvITs, you can put REITs, you can put some index hedges. All that is possible in this product.
Oh yeah, flexibility has been given to the
See,
fund manager.
the challenge in this product has always been that your drawdowns are quite sharp.
Right.
It's a superb category if you have time, patience, and the right investor behavior.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're trying to construct in this portfolio, that make the returns palatable so that people stay for their investment journey and don't get worried when there's a sharp drawdown, because that's the nature of this category.
Yeah. So it's a high risk, high return product. We
Yeah, it's a level band 5. It's a risk band 5. So in terms of regulation, this is the highest risk possible in any investment right now. So that's something that one should know about. But I think today investors are also very smart. Partners are very smart. They recommend things well. But there are a set of investors who get worried about very sharp drawdowns. This attempts to try and do to sort of mitigate that a bit. That's all.
Yeah, so I would agree to you, because you keep saying like you should have a longer term horizon. We are investing into equity.
Yeah.
So here also the investors, they would have to keep this patience.
Ideally, yes. Ideally, yes. They have to do it, but it's very easy for me to sit here, both of us, Sandeep, and have a discussion which looks very theoretical.
Yeah.
It looks very textbookish. It almost looks like I'm preaching or I'm sort of giving a sermon to somebody. But when somebody's portfolio, an investor portfolio, suddenly drops 15, 20, 25%, and we have seen in our investment experience that these things happen. That time the investor behavior is extremely critical. So what this tries and attempts to do is to try and it uses the various tools available under SIF to try and make that journey a little more palatable, a little more smoother.
Right.
But these are all we are attempting, right? I think that this is very clear. There's no guarantee that the journey will be smooth.
Right.
But does this category have the tools available to do it? Yes, it has.
Right.
Compared to a traditional investment vehicle. Yes.
Thank you, Raghav. So would it be correct to say that this is not going to cover only the bull market, but the full market cycle?
Absolutely.
And more intelligently?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is in some sense, yes. A more intelligent is a very in buzzword today, thanks to AI. So everybody talks of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
You're also using intelligence. But yes, in that sense, this allows you to do two things. I think one is obviously in a crazy bull market, I think it's lovely to invest, right? Every day you come in, you've invested some money, you see your portfolio rising. The challenge is when you have drawdowns, and they will happen in this category. Like, over a cycle, you will see sharp up move, sharp down moves. What this product attempts to do is to try and give you some help on the way down. And by doing that, if the investor behavior can stay, just, instead of telling people all the time, stay invested, but and then you try and give a slightly smoother journey. You attempt to do it by using the various features available in this category.
Right.
I think that will help the investor have the full investment experience and grow through the entire cycle. And typically when you go through a couple of market cycles, the longer that you invest in such categories of funds, especially smaller and mid cap, the lower the volatility gets over a period of time.
Thank you, Raghav. And what would you suggest, like what kind of investor mindset is most suitable for these kind of strategies?
I think very clearly somebody who understands the risk and reward
Right.
has to be aware that money is created over a longer period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously somebody who's invested in mutual funds or has some exposure to investment, very important. For first time investors, I would be very careful.
Right.
Because as you rightly pointed out, Sandeep, this is a risk band 5 category, right? So
Yeah.
this is not something I would advise for someone who's coming in for the first time.
Right.
Number 2 is obviously people who understand what this product can do for you.
Mm.
And lastly, I think patience is very, very critical here. So if somebody is coming and saying, I have like a 2-year horizon to make money, or I have a definite need that I will need to get my money out X at this time, then I think that is not the right person to come into. So not for first time investors, not for short term investors, not for investors who are very, very scared of or get worried when markets have their drawdowns. And in this asset class, they will.
Right.
That's the nature of the asset class. There's nothing that
Mhm.
you and I can do about it. What the SIF does for you, especially the X Top 100 SIF, is that it allows you to put in a little more defensive measures around the core portfolio.
I agree with you
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And Raghav, it sounds very exciting when we hear that India is going to be a $10 trillion economy. So where do
I
you
don't know how many zeros are there. I'll have to actually, I'm just thinking $10 trillion into 95 rupees. How much does that come to? I mean, I think it will fill up this whole screen actually if you want.
No
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
I would request you to throw some light. Like, where do you see this potential returns coming out of the stock market if our economy is going to grow there? Which sectors?
No. So I think there are, if you go, the CBR report talks of a $10 trillion, right?
Mhm.
And then, of course, you have a couple of the really big, large global consultants who talk about consumption, manufacturing, and infrastructure being the next story.
Right.
I think it's a combination of all.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just going to be one sector consumption or one this thing. So I think the good thing here is that you will have plenty of investment options to choose from in this space. I think India is developing in all these 3 categories or sectors of investment or themes of investments. So, and the best part is that I think a lot of that value, Sandeep, will get created in the 101st. A lot of that value will come into companies which are small and mid today.
I was about to ask
so is
you
there
this.
so is there value in that? Definitely yes,
Mhm.
but there's also risk
Mm-hmm.
because many of those companies don't tend to survive too. So I think that's where the option of going through a well managed, process oriented, risk oriented fund house makes a lot of sense for a investor.
Yeah, it's a crazy statistics. Raghav, we have seen that 10x growth
Yeah.
has been created by the companies which are excluding top 100.
Yeah.
So why we miss these strategies mostly, the companies or the sectors?
It's your answer, Sandeep, is actually in the question. See, the thing is that these companies, as you rightly said, give you 10x return. So number one, typically in human psychology or anything, जो बड़ा है उसको पसंद करते हैं हम लोग,
हाँ,
जो दिखते हैं हम लोग उसको खरीदते हैं.
Hmm.
It's very normal, right? I think
Right.
it's so obviously people feel that equity itself is a risky asset class. So let
Mhm.
me stick to the big guys.
Mhm.
And in the process, they avoid some really big wealth creators here.
Right.
Having said that, the flip side of wealth creation is also wealth destruction. So this also camouflages a lot of companies which may not survive in 10 years. So for every 10 bagger, Sandeep, there is equally a 0 bagger
Mm.
or a negative bagger, which is
Right.
where I think it's important to have a process oriented risk managed framework to do this. And if you can do it in a SIF kind of a category, I think it's actually the most optimum way to think about it and do it.
Thank you, Raghav. And we have seen like AI is changing the industry completely. How do you see AI is, it's changing the investment landscape altogether? How it is contributing to it?
So what does AI do? I mean, let's just get very basic about this, right?
Mhm.
AI allows me to look at more data,
Right.
analyze more companies, more investment opportunities in a very, very quick manner.
Right.
Right. So I think today the ability for us using AI
Mhm.
to be able to research more companies is much, much easier to do than say if I didn't have AI today.
Right.
Because the ability for AI to pick up data and manage it is very, very comfortable, right?
Mhm.
So what AI essentially does for you is it improves your decision making. It doesn't substitute it. That's one thing I'm very
Yeah,
clear about.
of
So when
course, we
people
have
say
seen
this
that.
is AI investment led, and आजकल बहुत हो रहा है ना आजकल.
Yeah,
If you go
yeah,
to especially social media, you have a lot of people saying
yes,
this portfolio is AI constructed.
yeah,
Now that itself is very very counterintuitive,
right.
because the same, if let's say 20 people are using a similar set of things using AI to come up with a set of results, the results over a period of time are not going to be as great as they were before.
Absolutely.
So I think what AI has to do is basically use a lot of strategy. And you should, I think what I call, I read a report recently, you use AI with strategic insight.
Right.
So you use the human abilities of judgment, valuation, the good old time tested theses of investment, right? But using the data provided by AI. So, our belief at 361 is use AI a lot, and we do a lot of it actually. So it's definitely helped us improve our research coverage. It's definitely helped us make life easier for our analysts.
Right.
But having said that, I think we are very clear that there is a layer of human judgment which sits on top of it.
Oh, yes. So you mean to say like AIs can complement the existing
Absolutely,
human
yes,
manpower, not the
absolutely.
replacement of
Absolutely,
humans?
that's the absolutely right one, and you can complement it absolutely too.
Okay. And Raghav, like if we are discussing this, what excites you more today? Manufacturing India or digital India?
I think it's I would actually go with both, something, because both are
Okay.
actually very correlated, right?
Yeah.
What is manufacturing? Manufacturing gives you capital goods, infrastructure, to some extent, basic industries, right? Digital India is all your QSRs, your advanced software layer, which is now, I think, which AI is building very, very well. And of course, all the other adjacent things that go with it. Now, if you see the intersection of these two, is actually where the fun is.
Yeah.
Because you have data centers which need power.
Oh, yes.
Data centers need chips.
Interesting.
Data centers need renewable.
Yeah.
So these are all interesting areas which are coming together. So my answer to your question is not either or, but it's a bit of and.
Right.
And the fun will be to try and figure out manufacturing and digital. Let's say one is old economy, jo dikhta hai. You can see bridges, data centers, you can see all the other basic infrastructure दिखता है आपको, ports, roads, etc. But to power this or to make this better, you need the entire digital economy which is working for you. तो ये जो इनके बीच में जो है, Sandeep, is where actually I think a lot of activities are there. And I must share with you that most of this is happening in the small and mid cap space.
Right.
So I think that's where it's important again to go to a professional fund manager, because a lot of these stories are there in the market. And I think it's important for you to then select somebody who can see through the story and actually look at the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And whether long-term wealth creation will happen by investing in that opportunity.
And Raghav, I was just going through the presentation of your X Top 100 and I found something very interesting.
Okay.
That you are trying to generate alpha not just from the outperformance but also from the underperformance.
Yep.
So if you can explain a
So
little
we
bit.
have in our research world, we have a set of companies which we call DNT, which is basically do not touch. Now these could be because of governance reasons, these could be because of industry reasons, these could be because of valuation reasons.
Right.
These could be because of maybe shareholder reasons, whatever. I mean, there are a whole set of things that come in. Now, in the past, what we would do in our regular equity funds, we will not look at them for investments. Now, in the SIF category, you can go short up to 25% of the portfolio. So, if you find a set of these companies which are possibly very, very looking, may correct.
Right.
Then this overvalued or something, we may take an opportunity. We can put money into that and actually make a little bit of money for our investors when the stocks fall off. Now, but of course, this is an interesting proposition. It has to be done very carefully.
Right. Yeah.
Fund manager is not God. Just because he shorts a particular stock, it doesn't mean the stock has to come down. So we'll endeavor to do this. As I said, the SIF framework allows you to do it. The SIF investment framework allows you to do this, which is not available in, let's say, other normal public investment vehicles, especially in mutual funds. But your one has to be careful. There's no guarantee that इसमें 100% पैसे बनेंगे. But it's I would just like to conclude, Sandeep, by saying that somebody who's got a research-based process is able to identify this more unemotionally than just normal investor like you and me.
Right. So you mean to say, Raghav, कि fund manager को सिर्फ returns chase नहीं करने, they have to be understand the volatility, manage the
Absolutely.
risk.
Yes.
So they have to be very careful.
And in
not
this
just-
category of investments, SIF specifically, you can do a lot of that. There are a lot of enablers, tools, regulations which allow you to do this, जो आपके mutual fund में नहीं है. And that's why, if you understand, Sandeep, these funds are start at a basic level of 10 lakh rupees, because I think the regulator is very clear that this has to be in addition to your core MF or any other investment. No, this cannot be your core. And
right.
that's it. Maybe over the next 40-50 years, God knows, it may become your core. But abhi ke liye, I think, set of investors, I think it's an and, it's not an or.
You know, Raghav, we have seen कि investors ना बहुत प्यार करते हैं small and mid cap को, but जब market fall करती है तो बहुत जल्दी panic करते हैं.
Correct.
So ये SIF structure is going to solve that problem too.
I would say completely solve it. It be attempt to mitigate it.
Right.
I think that you cannot 100% solve it.
Yeah, of course.
Because unfortunately, that's the nature of as small
Markets.
and mid cap में ऐसे ही होता है.
Yeah.
वो जितने तेजी से ऊपर जाते हैं उतने तेजी से भी नीचे आ सकते हैं. But yes, like I told you, time is your greatest friend in this.
Right.
तो यहाँ पे एक ही चीज है कि you can use the things that are available to you. You know, index shorts, आपका large cap exposure, आपका debt exposure, InvIT exposure, REIT exposure. These are all tools and facilities available to you to sort of make that journey a little less volatile. But we are attempting to do it. That's the important thing. But ये asset class में वो allowed है, बाकी में नहीं है वहाँ पे.
Okay, Raghav, we have seen in the last couple of years the global markets have gone through, you know, such turmoil because of, you know, geopolitical tensions, then wars. So in the current market scenario, where do you see the markets in the maybe short run, say 6 months to 1 year time?
Very difficult to predict something, because I don't have an idea when the war is going to get over.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
Nobody
just to
knows
give you
that.
an example, in 2022, when the whole Russia-Ukraine crisis started, I think most of the knowledgeable people were saying that ये तो 2-3 हफ्ते में खत्म हो जाएगा.
Right.
I mean, हमारा 5वां साल चल रहा है.
Yeah.
I think the same thing was said about the recent crisis.
Yeah.
So I think that the important thing is that in any situation, even if you are in war or at peace or in good times, bad times, Sandeep, there are always great companies to invest in.
Absolutely.
The good thing is that, and you have to obviously get into great companies at the right valuation. I mean, that's the mantra, and then hopefully you hold on to it, and the company execution will do everything else for you.
Yeah, rather than looking at the market as
हाँ,
a
ये
whole,
market, you
stock
should really
selection
see
is
stock
very
selection is
crucial.
important. हाँ, उसके अंदर obviously the sectors that do well in a wartime situation and in a peacetime situation are slightly different.
Yeah.
So obviously that's where I think that agility has to happen. That आप जो 5 साल पहले चल रहा था doesn't mean may work immediately today. You know, like for example, today the defense sector is the one that's benefiting the most from all this geopolitical situation.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 years back or 10 years back, they were not getting that kind of attention.
Yeah.
Because
Nobody was talking about them.
Peace चल रहा था, तो people were
हाँ.
thinking on the more traditional lines, right?
Right.
But that's where I think it's important. The world is changing quite rapidly. So what you did maybe 5-10 years back may not work from today. So it's my opinion. I mean, I've been in this industry now more than 25 years. I think it's much easier for let's say people like you and me to do our job,
Right.
earn money, save money, and invest money,
Yes.
and give it to somebody whose full-time job is to manage this in whatever investment environment there is.
Right.
Whether it's war, whether it's peace, whether it's geopolitical, वो चलते ही रहेगा.
Oh yes. And Raghav, आपको क्या लगता है कि एक इन्वेस्टर माइंडसेट में कौन से स्विच की जरूरत है जहाँ पे they can participate in the next growth cycle in India?
I think the most important thing is to manage your behavior, boss. I don't think, like I said, there is no shortage of growth opportunities in India today. See, all said and done, we are amongst the fastest growing economies in the world.
Yeah.
We have a very robust capital market system. I think thanks to the regulator, they've really democratized savings.
Right.
Today, it's very, very easy for somebody with 100 rupee investment to also participate in Indian capital markets. So all that is done. So
Right.
companies है, आपका platform बढ़िया है, आपका industry super regulated है. You have a very forward-looking regulator who's constantly thinking of new ways as to how to improve the investor experience. And as an industry, we are beautifully regulated, right? All of us are now trying to do our best for the investor. Now the investor has to do the best for himself. How does that happen? He has to stay invested for reasonably long periods of time and not panic.
Right.
So I think the behavior is very, very important. So
Mhm.
let's say if you remember 2023, the
Mhm.
maximum inflows happened in NFOs and small and mid cap funds.
Mhm.
2025, luckily that investor has not changed.
Right.
But let's say 2025, 26, if the market falls off, whatever reason,
Mhm.
you should change that behavior mindset. लोग को लगता है कि retail investor buys high, sells low.
Mhm.
Uh, so obviously everybody likes to buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
That's the easy way to say it,
Yes.
but difficult to do.
Yeah. It's very different for
Even for
Indian
people like you
investors,
and
fund
me who are
managers.
in financial
Yeah.
markets, even for
Yeah.
fund managers, it's not very easy to do.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the easiest thing to do is to stay invested through for a longer period of time and have that discipline. So as long as
Absolutely.
you don't get into this, buy high, sell low business, you will have a reasonably good experience with your money.
Right.
ये आप करते जाओगे buy high, sell low, at some time you will get frustrated and
Oh
say
yes.
यार ये मजा नहीं आ रहा है इसमें कुछ और करते हैं.
स्पेशली जो लास्ट 2 साल में हुआ तो इसकी नीड बहुत ज्यादा है,
बहुत ज्यादा
मुझे
है,
ऐसा
बहुत
लगता
ज्यादा. नहीं, but एक बढ़िया चीज है क्या, see fortunately SIP inflows are holding up. So
Yes,
that's
for sure.
that's a sign that investors are much more patient today than maybe what they were 5-7 years back.
Right. And even means we have seen Raghav कि अभी मार्केट नीचे जा रही है तो HNIs रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स दे आर ऑल टॉपिंग अप, दे आर नॉट विड्रॉइंग द मनी.
Correct. That's
अर्लियर
a
इट यूज्ड टू बी लाइक कि मार्केट नीचे जाता था लोग पैसा निकालना शुरू कर
True,
देते थे.
true.
नाउ रिडेम्पशंस हैव स्टॉप्ड, पीपल
True.
आर टॉपिंग अप देयर फंड्स.
True, but on the other side, you're also seeing SIP stoppages increase. So I think it's
Yeah.
a थोड़ा give and take है. So
Yes.
you have a set of people, and that's what the market is. आजकल market क्या है यार? Market is nothing but जहाँ चीज खरीदती है, जहाँ चीज बेचा जाती है.
Right.
It's nothing. It's a transaction point. And so if you are a seller, I'm a buyer. We'll meet in the market and do something. But the behavior, Sandeep, thanks to podcasts like this, is really changing. So I'm really grateful for you to do that. And
Thank you,
especially in a
Raghav.
category like this, because I think this is a really forward-looking category.
Yes.
This can really help investors stay for a longer period of time.
Yeah, we do believe, Raghav, that there is still a huge gap which exists, not just between the advisors and the clients, even within the AMCs and the advisors. So they need to understand this product
True.
carefully, and so that they can go back to their
True,
investors
true,
and explain them.
True, absolutely.
So on that note, Raghav, we would like to do a rapid fire round with you
Oh,
very
okay.
quickly with
This is tough.
one-liners or one words.
Okay.
One myth around long-short investing.
It's very safe. लोगों को लगता है यार ये मार्केट नीचे भी जाएगा तो पैसे तो ये तो हमारा पैसे बना के रख देगा.
Very important.
Which
Thank you
is-
for pointing this
yeah.
out. We hear it a
So
lot.
I get actually 180-degree comments on this.
Very important.
So people
Thank
tell
you.
me it's either very safe because लगता है यार आपके पास शॉर्ट
हाँ.
है तो आप तो इसको बचा के रख दोगे.
जी 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 जी.
See, ultimately we are attempting to do something. Right?
Exactly.
Number two, on the other side, people get worried. And आप derivatives use कर रहे हो तो you are like maybe you are in the most extreme risk of the market.
Yes.
So
it's neither of them.
actually this portfolio is actually right in the middle.
Right.
It tries to optimize your longer term behavior by trying to protect you from short term shocks.
Yeah, this question should not have been in the rapid fire. So actually this, needed the attention for most of the investors and distributors because they feel like SIF में लगा दिया तो मेरा पैसा नीचे जाएगा नहीं. No, it's not like that.
No, it's not.
Thank you. And retail investors today, smarter or money emotional?
I think much smarter today. Much smarter. And I think that's thanks to people like you.
Thank you, Raghav. You're being so kind. And biggest mistake investors make during market rallies?
यार उनको लगता है क्या मैंने पैसे डाले हैं मार्केट ऊपर चले गए.
जी.
They feel that it's their intelligence without realizing that you're part of many lakhs of
Exactly.
investors and the market went up.
Mhm.
And then because they feel that मैंने पैसे डाले हैं मार्केट ऊपर चला गया. The market going up is not thanks to them.
Yeah.
Because of a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
And when they should be actually looking to look at their risk level because they made some money, they tend to put more. So I think that's a
Right.
big mistake. So
Exactly.
don't assume that just because you put money and the market went up, you are some superhero fund manager.
Yes.
You could be just right time, right place. तो मेरा बहुत सिंपल व्यू पॉइंट है इसके ऊपर. आप अपना एसेट एलोकेशन बना के रख दीजिए.
Okay.
उसके अंदर हर 6 महीने और 1 साल whatever period suits you. Don't do it every day because then it's an absolute waste of time.
Right.
But every 6 months, look at your portfolio. Like, let's say hypothetically, when markets came down in March, I think like you rightly mentioned, a lot of people invested, Sandeep, because they were underweight in equities.
Exactly.
तो उन्होंने जो अभी market gave whatever correction, people felt it was a good time to put money. They put some money. And when thousands and lakhs of people do that, suddenly the flow becomes very, very good.
Right.
Vice versa पे भी आजकल लोग वही भी करते हैं. So
Oh,
I
yes.
remember 23, 24 when the markets were at all-time highs, actually redemptions were also there.
Yeah.
But my belief is doing this on a daily basis, market timing has never been easy to do. Even the best fund managers get it wrong.
Right.
So then the investor behavior has to be conducive to that.
So one thing sophisticated investors do differently.
I think they try and protect the downsides.
Mm-hmm.
वो लोग देखते हैं क्या यार, how do we protect money going down?
Right. That's very important.
They don't, obviously, when things, they obviously look at the positive when they invest. But most of us, including me, we look at the positive aspects of
And
investing. अरे ये
downside
X top 100 आया, Dyna X top 100, इसमें कितने पैसे बनेंगे?
Right.
I think the sophisticated investor asks us a reverse question, that was, what will you do if
What is
markets
the
go
drawdown?
down? How will you do that? तो वो
Right.
सवाल वहां से चालू होता है.
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जो मेरे ख्याल से हर इन्वेस्टर को अपने एडवाइजर से पूछना चाहिए.
करेक्ट. यार ये अगर नीचे जाएगा तो क्या होगा?
Hmm.
तो दैट्स द क्रिटिकल थिंग. एंड आई थिंक एडवाइजर्स कैनॉट जस्ट से सर वो फंड मैनेजर भगवान है, वो ऐसा ऑफ करेगा ऑन करेगा. इट्स नॉट स्टार्टिंग एंड पुटिंग ऑफ अ कार, राइट? And that's where investors have to be aware.
Okay. Would future investing framework look like different from traditional mutual funds?
I think it's an evolution. My view in life is that mutual funds are always going to be the core of any investor's, at least an Indian investor portfolio.
Yeah.
May not be, and this I'm talking about an Indian retail investor. Right?
Mhm.
Obviously, UHNIs, ultra high net worths, etc., have a very different principle because obviously the money that they are talking about is much more.
Mhm.
I'm saying for a normal investor who's looking to grow his assets or by compounding, I think that MF will be a core, and then of course SIF strategy will complement that. It cannot substitute mutual funds. So SIF is a great category for people who are looking for something more sophisticated and asking these questions that boss अगर market नीचे जाएगा तो कैसे हो? Most investors are graduating today from savings to investments only.
Right.
So today, despite all the work that we have done, one number I feel very sad about is that we have only less than possibly 7 crore investors in the whole of India.
Right.
And this is despite digitization, really bringing the investment down. Today, जब हम अपना career चालू किया था, you needed 5,000 rupees or something to invest. आजकल 100 रुपये पे चालू हो सकते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
But फिर भी we have less than 7 crore investors, and I think we have to work harder to get that number higher. So for those first set of investors, MF is great.
Yes.
A nice, good flexi cap fund is always my preference, in that sense. But of course, please consult your advisor because हर आदमी का अलग-अलग नजरिया होता है. But and then obviously when you get more experience, more confidence, more capital,
Right.
and you have slightly longer term horizon, then I think SIFs are a great place to look at it. And SIF के बाद आपका ये भी आ जाएगा, AIF भी आ जाएगा. Because the kind of things you can do in an alternate investment fund today is amazing today. I mean, you can do all kinds of flexibility and different asset classes. So look at 361, we run a very large AIF product bouquet focused on private equity, private credit, real assets. So of course, that's really for our ultra high net worth investors. इनका requirements कुछ अलग है. So as you can see, what regulator has done is very interesting. They've given you a 100 rupee vehicle. They've also given you a 1 crore and a multi-crore vehicle.
Yes.
And India is such a beautiful country, Sandeep, that you have investors across all these asset classes. So that's the fun of working in here. Yeah.
I agree with you, Raghav. And Raghav, according to you, what matters most during the corrections? Calmness or conviction?
I think calmness is very important. Because conviction sometimes can be a bit foolish.
Right.
आपको एक स्टॉक है, एक सेक्टर के ऊपर इतना conviction है, आप पकड़ते रहो. Maybe your conviction is misdirected. Absolutely. But calmness allows you to have better decision making. Because if you're calm, you will be mentally in a better state. My view is to take a slightly better decision. So I think calmness is critical.
Thank you, Raghav. So coming to the end of this podcast, Raghav, what message would you like to give to our audience about Dyna SIF Ex Top 100?
So one is it's very clearly a fund for sophisticated investors.
Okay.
So let me start by saying who should not invest.
Okay.
So clearly people who have not invested in capital markets at all, be it equity, mutual funds, index funds, please don't start with this vehicle.
Okay.
Number two, people who have short-term investment horizon.
Mhm.
please don't come here. Number
Mm.
3, most importantly, if you feel very uncomfortable when markets drop 20-30%,
Right.
especially in the small and mid cap space, आपको मजा नहीं आता है,
Mm.
you feel very upset,
Mhm.
then this is not the category for you, because ये small and mid में हो सकता है कभी भी.
Right.
But yes, I yet strongly believe that a lot of the future wealth
Mm.
will get created by companies in the X top 100 today.
Right.
Because as I said, a lot of new sectors, a lot of new companies are coming there.
Mhm.
It's also better to do this through a professional, regulated fund management entity, right? And I think 361 is SEBI regulated. We've had a decade plus of existence. Our
Thank you.
investment process is widely tested,
Mhm.
and we are really looking at all types of companies here. We're not really looking only at growth-oriented companies. We're looking at
Mhm.
secular companies. We're looking at defensive, cyclicals, and turnaround companies. तो मैं एक specific focus नहीं कर रहा हूँ एक set के ऊपर.
Mm.
And then if you get our belief is that if you get the right valuation with the best quality, I think that is a great formula for long-term wealth creation. So yes, I think please participate. As
What are
always,
the NFO dates?
we are starting on 5th of June
Okay.
and we conclude on 19th of June.
Right.
And like you rightly said, Sandeep, it's a SIF, so the minimum investment is 10 lakh rupees.
Mhm.
Having said that, we already launched 2 funds earlier.
Okay.
So for people who have already invested in our funds, 10 lakhs is at a PAN level.
Okay.
Then they can come in at a lower ticket value.
Oh,
also.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Number 2 is that, I think SIP is a good way to put money.
Mhm.
But yes, you'll have to put that first 10 lakh rupees and then start an SIP.
Okay.
The minimum value is 20,000 rupees per month for 6 months or 50,000 rupees per quarter.
Oh, that gives
So-
an excellent
so it's
option for the existing investors
to look
to
at
start
and
SIPs.
SIP,
or-
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think, especially in this category, I think staggered investing has definitely helps you stay the journey.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Number 3, I think lastly, it's like the taxation, the disclosure, the everything, the expense ratio, all the things are very similar, in fact identical to a mutual fund.
Mhm.
So I think that's the beauty of this product. It gives you the flexibility of a AIF and a PMS on the investment side,
Right.
but from a investor side, it gives you the transparency, convenience, regulation of a regular mutual fund. So it's a great intersection of it. So yes, I think that's where it is. Yeah.
Thank you, Raghav, for joining us today.
Thank you
at
so much.
SIFK Masterminds.
Thank you so much.
It was pleasure having you with us.
As always, it's great fun talking to you, and thank you to all our viewers. I hope you found this conversation useful. Any feedback, Sandeep and I are always ready to take it.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Raghav.
Thank you.